I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThatUmbrellaGuy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
Stomping the floppy shoes so hard, Italy to class delirious. You praying to stop so much, it's like you're having a religious experience. Despite all of your denials, I know that you know me and your crew. Ask your girl the last time she phoned me. Allegedly, just admit that even now you sing along. And even after I wreck you, you gotta bump my song. You should copyright loser because the dictionary cloned you. Crushed so hard, now my cleats own you. It's that umbrella guy, clutching the verbal hammer, locking you down in this inescapable syllable slammer. You wanna step up and try to oppose me? Yeah, you should ask anyone that really knows me. I'll take your bling, your girl, your dog, and move in your home, only to get out the verbal flamethrower and consume your plastic gnomes. You drip, you whip, you ride, your bride consumed by this mic hitter, just to drop them on the market to the highest bidder. It's that umbrella guy, live from the hat rack, with elbows that hit so hard you'll think it's a nuclear impact. I mean respecting you, please, that's a word you'll never earn. Yet another lesson you clowns have never learned. Along with standing tall and pride and repping values that you feel, and not fake morals you found inside your happy meal. I listen to you with your speaking spell education, wondering if your parents bred with their relations. Wearing your big red nose and still thinking that you're a star, while you're forced to bump that umbrella guy inside your clown car. Yeah, it's that umbrella guy, broadcasting live to the masses. Timing out full, sorry we ran out of free passes. We gotta go further and not just expose you. Listen and believe royalty, we gotta depose you. Getting masked up because this flow is criminal. Dropping hammers so hard, they're subliminal. Unconsciously you want me to own you, as the parasol pope is set to dethrone you. And I'm out.
All right. What's up, folks? How's it going today? Welcome to May. Can you believe it? It is freaking May. and the crazy, it never stops. I mean, that's kind of, I hate it for Clayton, but I mean, my God. If you're going to expose some crazy, this is the crazy train you need to be on. I mean, between this and the joke list, I feel pretty content some days. I swear. By the way, Subi Sue, thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you, Subi Sue. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Captain Kern, thanks for the month there. Best few bucks I've spent this month. Indeed. If you enjoy this channel, think about supporting the Group Cash Train. Actually, share. You know the drill by now. I mean, you know it. You love it. You love it. You love it. Thank you there, too. And Fallen Hero, thank you for the gifted membership as well. Man, the last few days have been really interesting. I mean, we've had multiple filings. Multiple ones that have hit. We've had one that's really, really spicy from Clayton's lawyers. We've also had the denial of lunch, which David doesn't seem very happy about. Tramstamp lawyer, it seems a little ragey. You know, let's look at that. This popped up today. He's like a little I'm totally a little confused, he says. The rules say lawyers must talk to each other, but that's not optional. My adverse counsel refuses to talk, so I asks the court to make him follow the rules, and the judge says no. Not sure if this is worth a special action, but maybe. So he's going to go after the judge too. Hey, while you're on the suing train, right? Well, you going to make us all homeless and shit? Why not a special action going after the judge too? When the judge is like, yeah, no, David, nobody's going to buy you a Happy Meal. You have to go buy your own. I mean, holy crap. The Hamburglar himself. Tramp stamp lawyer. Holy God. Oh, man, I love it. What's up, Captain Kern, by the way? Thank you for the 2 there. May the tug be with you. Indeed. Indeed. May the 4th be with you. That'll be soon, actually. And what's up, Romer? 45 months, my friend. Thanks there. Hey, Tug, it's been tough since I moved out with the herniated disc, but I finally got a new remote job and ready to start soon. Love you all. Well, I'm glad, man. I'm glad that things are setting up for you, my friend. It has been, that's the ebb and flow of life, man. You know, the ebb and flow of life. Some days it's, it's wild. It's wild to watch. Such a roller coaster, you know. I found one thing that makes life better is laughing at stupid people. That makes me feel good. And I mean, when you look at this, I mean, you have, in here, the court has received and considered respondents' motion to compel lines. Can you imagine, seriously, can you imagine being a judge and having gotten that? Like, this is posted today. That's why you notice May the 1st here. This morning. So this was posted today. But can you imagine being a judge, getting this action, and thinking, what kind of buffoonery is this? And being like, nah, we're not going to do that. And then having him come back to it and be like, well, I'm not sure if that's worth a special action, but maybe, man, if you're going to go after the judge, maybe you should save that for something worthwhile. Maybe not forcing the other counsel to sit down and buy you a Big Mac. I don't know what's up with all the McDonald's references, by the way. I mean, maybe that's what he wants. He's like, I never as a kid had anybody take me to the playground at McDonald's. Mr. Woodnick, will you take me there? He's like, push me on the swing set. I'm surprised we didn't have that in there, Counsel will push David on the swings. He will ride bareback down the slide. He's like, do it a little more like Brokeback Mountain. You're like, no, David. You do that on your own time, man. He's like, come on, Woodnick. He's like, no, absolutely not. Oh, my God. These people are so fucking weird. I mean, holy God. And then... it's gonna get even better today. What's up? Thank you for the 10 there. All aboard that creepy cash train, by the way. Toot-tootin'. Indeed, thank you. And Flux, thanks for the month there. I still don't understand as a real lawyer. like we absolutely positive. Guam degrees off the table. I mean, seriously, isn't there a Ronald McDonald Institute? I mean, you can learn about burgers. Maybe you can learn law there too. He also he went further and he was like, and for those that have been celebrating, I gotta own you. Check this out. I mean, this is salt. We're gonna get to that filing in just a second, but this is salt, man. Oh my God. He was like, just FYI, to all those happy about the lunch motion being denied, don't celebrate yet. The court already ordered Clayton and Woodnick to meet me and Laura. We haven't scheduled that meeting yet, but I'll make the offer. And if they don't show, they could be held in contempt. And Christina here is like, if it was already ordered, then why are you doing all this other shit? Like, what kind of clownage is this? I mean, this is an item from 2/21/2024. So, what is going on? He's like, by the way, I already had this thing. I already won, so I'm not really losing. And it's like, what are you fucking talking about, dude? Oh my God. I mean, the salt is real. It is real. But you notice he highlighted the part counsel in both parties, or both parties, if there are no counsel, and assuming that the court has made exception based on the issues of DV, shall personally meet face to face at least 10 days before trial to discuss the resolution and narrowing of all procedural and substantive issues in the case. Yeah. That's typical. I mean, that's the stupidest thing. It's basically, can you hash this shit out before you get to court? I mean, he's like, I won something. Yeah, you won something that every other mofo in court pretty much gets. You know, you won the can we sort this stuff out? Congratulations. So why did you have to ask for why did you have to ask for somebody to buy you something off the value meal? I mean, really, I don't get it. I mean, this guy's stuff is wild. This filing, this fraud response is something else too. I mean, some of the stuff that's attached to this is crazy, by the way. It is crazy. I know. My Lord. We're gonna have a fun rip and roar through some of this. Give me a second. Whoops, that's the Laura Owens one. Give me 1 minute. I gotta find something real fast. I swear, some days I there were so many filings that hit right at one time. And what's fascinating to me is this blaming Clayton Echard for everything that happens too. You know, it's I don't know, it's really strange when you think about it, because anything that goes on, anything whatsoever, Clayton Echard is to blame. That's what they've tried to do. You know, meanwhile, she's not to blame for any of the stuff that she herself has done. I mean, it's just all this, it blows my mind. It all blows my mind. I don't know. I don't even know what to think about oh my God. I don't know what to think about half this stuff. We also, last night, there was an interesting, give me 1 minute here. Let me get this Dropbox link to work here. Let me see. Is this the right one? Petitioner's response to respondents' amended motion for relief. Good God, man. There's so much crazy in this stuff. The stuff that she posts, the stuff that I mean, it's I can't believe some of the stuff that they seem to be proud of posting. You know what's fascinating to me too is the fact that people that are posting this are actually redacting a lot of information. And I'm actually going to use the redacted document, even though her own lawyer is posting on him. And by the way, I want to show you something else. Actually, one other post by him before we get into all of this too. You have give me 1 second. You have him being told that he's putting out his own client's address He's doxing his client. And his response there is, well, all of this stuff is public. Now, all the people that have that have been threatened, the folks that have been told that saying anything that had her address in it, she's called the police and done all of this craziness. Well, her own lawyer has said, well, that's not a problem. So it's kind of fascinating to me to see this. It's like he doesn't even know what his own client has been out here doing as far as calling the police and doing all this other just this crazy shit. I was stunned to see some of this stuff that he says. Like, if you go through, I don't see where it is right off the bat. I've screenshot all of it because I have no idea like how much. If I see something, I typically take a screenshot and I send it over to Megan. That way it doesn't get lost. It's in our conversation. So I'm going to pull up the amended motion for judgment based on fraud first. That's the one I want to go with. But she has a motion herself. I mean, there's just so much stuff that's happened in the last few days. We're talking the last 5 days. Typically, there's one or two motions that end up hitting the table. But with this, I mean, you have Clayton's motion. Then you have the motion that's answering. I mean, like I said, it's all crazy too. Like I was shocked by some of the exhibits that are attached to some of this stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up the amended motion for relief from judgment based on fraud. And we'll go from there. We'll see exactly what we have time for today. Let's see. I believe. Let me make sure. Just give me 1 second. I'm making sure I connect to the right one. There's so many of them out here. I was opening up a bunch of them because I was organizing them for live stream just in case, depending on how they pop up. Oh, so much weirdness. By the way, Azteki, I like that name, by the way. Thanks for the 2 there. He was not even counsel when that was ordered. I know, it's crazy. He's like, by the way, I had this win. And you're like, you didn't actually have a win. First of all, again, he even says that. What? Why? And people are responding to him too. And he's also like, basically, you folks are so mean. It's so bizarre. I've seen lawyers that use like online statements, to make their points. I've seen people that have been really effective at it, but I've never seen like a lawyer clown car up some shit like this. I mean, check this out. Actually, I want to show you one other statement first before I do that. I mean, this is the way he's answering people. So look at this. I can't believe this guy's a real lawyer. I forgot to put this one in here. So check this. So he's got, people are responding to him. And you can see like he's answering people, like he's barrage answering people. At first he's in and then he answers enough. And somebody's like, exactly. Acting like his long ass motion for lunch was essentially equivalent to this. He wanted to meet much sooner and probably offered a settlement or something. And like, you guys are so friendly. Why are you so mad? And people are like, no one's mad. Except the loss and move on. You have bigger things to worry about. Honestly, was not an important or critical motion to win. And he's like, I've had cases where I've lost 100% of the small motions along the way over a period of years, but I came out 100% victory in the end. That's how it works. I agree the small rulings don't matter, but only the final outcome. Well, good luck with the final outcome, mofo, because this is a mess. This is a fucking mess. And I've never seen somebody get so defensive in the court of social media. I've never seen it. Just battling with random people. I mean, like I said, there's nothing in what he's doing that helps his client. I guess that's my point to that. I mean, if you see something in there, again, maybe people every now and then will say something that might help him understand it. Oopsie. But it's like he doesn't even understand that part. So here's our defendant, Clayton Echard, buying through his counsel. They go through everything here. I'm going to skip all of that. Hereby files the amended motion for relief from judgment. This motion is amended solely in an effort to streamline litigation and focus on the upcoming trial. While it's addressed in Exhibit 4, this amendment is legally unnecessary. It is being provided to avoid further distraction from core issues. So we're going to see Exhibit 1 with that. Remember, we'll hit the exhibits. The sole amendment, other than changes to the judge and petitioner's counsel, can be found on pages 3. Notes the petitioner was seen November the 14th, 2023, for non-pregnancy related care at Mom Doc months after she claimed she miscarried. So on October the 6th, 2023, and October the 25th, 2023, plaintiff committed fraud. She committed, you notice this, straight from go, she committed fraud when she filed her underlying petitions for order of protection and then testified before Judge Duty. I don't feel good about saying that. You ever have a real name and you're like, I don't really feel good calling somebody that. Yeah, I know your name's Judge Duty. The worst name, you remember that show, that Bam Margera show? You know, the jackass guy, Bam Margera. He went on a quest one time and he was trying to find the worst name ever. Okay. And I think he found it. This is a real name, by the way. Okay. So don't be offended. This is a real name. The guy's name, his first name was Dushan and his last name was Mandic. So his name is Dushan Mandic. They decided that was the worst name ever. And I was like, that is pretty awful. Like the guy was like, yeah, that is pretty awful. I mean, but Judge Duty is pretty bad. Anyway, yes, that is a real name. I'm not kidding you. I'm not joking. It's like I said, it's a Bam Margera thing. His name is Dushan. So you should look it up. The episode's crazy. Just look up, I forget what it's called, but just look up worst name ever from Bam Margera. Oh man. Back in the earlier days when TV and MTV mattered and we didn't laugh all day long at stupid filings. So anyway, plaintiff committed fraud when testifying before Judge Duty under the fraudulent pretense that she was pregnant with defendant's quote-unquote twins and that defendant was cyberbullying her by posting her medical records online. To be clear, plaintiff was never pregnant by defendant, as they did not have penetrative sexual intercourse. Right there, blunt in your face. Tonsillitis is not twins. Just straight out there. I would say straight from the horse's mouth, but that sounds bad too. Half the analogies I come up with in this show, they sound terrible these days. Ugh, they do. What is up with that? That's crazy. So I saw us, by the way, I've seen 2 super chats roll through and they're not showing in StreamYard. So I may have to go and pull them up through I like to pull them up on the screen, but they're not showing in the thing here. So I may not be able to put them right on the screen. So I apologize there. Cindy, by the way, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. I like to pull them up. That's what I've been doing. And Shannon O'Brien Chronicles, thanks for the 5 there. He's shooting from the hip. Shot himself. Doesn't know it yet. Bless his hashtag tramp stamp heart. I know it. Don't tell my heart, my tramp stampy heart. Indeed. And Aztec, thanks to Gingrich loves exhibits. He's an exhibitionist. That's funny. Colorado Canadian also. Thanks for the 2. My granddad-in-law was Dr. Dick Shaver. Oh no. Oh no. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Poor grandpa. By the way, if you didn't watch Dave Neal's live stream today, that was fascinating. They were talking about the ultrasound picture that was provided and their theories on why it was there, but they were also talking about how Laura Owens tried to control this narrative. Threats of litigiousness. Essentially, it shows you why a lot of places may not have gone through. I always wonder if the Sun pulled down their article talking about her because she threatened to sue them. I wouldn't think they would be that afraid, but after all the problems they've had recently, maybe. Maybe they're afraid of yet another lawsuit. But it's fascinating how many threats, how there's been threats from Go. And it all ties into what we're talking about here. Anybody that's just discussing this case in any way whatsoever, if it is not clearly by the script from Laura Owens, it looks like they get threats. I mean, it's fascinating to me. It is. It's absolutely fascinating. Specifically, it continues, though, during a deposition for the paternity/establishment matter currently pending before Judge Matta, Clayton admitted to modifying medical records. That's indeed correct. That's also, Gingrich tried to minimize. We talked about this the other day, how messed up it was. I talked about it I think on the last live stream that I had with Megan. We talked about how messed up it was because they keep threatening to sue people, and yet at the same time, they're admitting that the client lied. So they're going to sue you for saying that she lied while admitting that she lied. Get the fuck out of here with that. I mean, what kind of clown show stuff is that? It's so weird. It's so weird. Ugh. But then claimed she had a miscarriage in September, predating the filing of the OOP. In her own words, plaintiff said, quote, did change the top of that, talking about the sonogram from Planned Parenthood to Smile. I added my name in the facility name. Correct. Now, Megan noted that she called the Planned Parenthood there. And that's not the type of test that they do. So it's kind of either one of 2 scenarios here, and I'll let you be the judge. Either Planned Parenthood is getting it wrong and saying none of their facilities at all, including the facility that she mentioned, actually does that kind of work, or Laura Owens is lying. I wonder, right? I wonder. Does Planned Parenthood not know what it does on its own facilities? Or, but relevant here, plaintiff tampered with the same sonogram this court found to be part of the single act of DV required to justify granting the order of protection, meaning she submitted to this court, and this court explicitly relied upon a fraud. Like, think about that. I mean, really think about what's said there. In order for her to get an order of protection, he's noting, she fraudulently created documentation. And if that is the case here, then how many other times has she pulled this kind of fucked up stuff? How many other cases? How many indeed? By the way, I noticed in new filings that one of those filings that Laura Owens has her lawyer producing is attempting to keep any of the prior names that have been discussed from being witnesses. They're trying to keep all of those people out. And what's crazy about it is the one guy that has not been brought up before. Remember, we've talked about this a few times. There was a patient zero, as it were, where all things ultimately started. The Laura, Dave Neal came up with the funniest thing today. He was talking about the Woomtang clan. The Woomtang clan. And I think the Woomtang actually hailed from this one person whose, again, name, everyone, when they heard about it, they protected it. Journalists, YouTubers, whatever you want to call, like for myself, Megan, myself, we all went out of our way not to mention this person's name. Well, Gingras comes out. He not only drops their name into the public, but now he's pushing, after he named this person, this name would not be known otherwise. He's now pushing to not allow them to be part of the case. So he drops a nuke on this person's life publicly, dropping all shielding off of it, and then thinks maybe I should do something about them not to. It's just fascinating stuff. Again, there are a bunch of documents that have dropped. And I mean, just some of it, it's so bizarre when you look at everything that's come up. To date, in this contemporaneous matter, plaintiff has provided no verifiable medical evidence to support her alleged twin pregnancy. Well, here's the fraud. Wait, we missed this. Through the discovery process, a very disturbing hobby of plaintiff, notice this, modifying or creating documents she purports to be medical records and legal correspondence has been identified. I forgot to put that in there. I noticed this. Like, look at that. He was like, so, throughout this discovery process, we've noticed a very disturbing hobby that Owens has in modifying and creating documents she purports to be medical records and legal correspondence. That's a funny footnote. To date, she hasn't provided any medical evidence to support that she was pregnant, and has admitted that the ultrasound at the core of this court's basis for granting the protection order was de facto fraudulent. Man, that is some bombshelling right there. That's dropping nukes. Months after petitioner claims she miscarried, November 2023, petitioner was seen at Mom Doc, who provided pregnancy-related gynecological. My God, I said that in one night. The other day I was like, blah, 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 blah. I couldn't say that. I could not get that out there. I was like, I got it. Woohoo! Yes. Let me give myself a round of applause. Yay, that umbrella guy. Thank you. Thank you. For the other day, I was just like, I couldn't say that. Anyway, care and who confirmed that petitioner was not pregnant. Moreover, to date, every obstetrician and gynecologist plaintiff testified, saying court proceedings and deposition to being seen for her fake, you notice he put in parentheses, fake pregnancy, have indicated there are no records and that she was never seen as a patient. Startlingly, the source of the sonogram the court relied on was allegedly from Southwest Medical Imaging, or SMILE, which has, independent of plaintiff's admission to doctoring the image, confirmed that there are no records of the alleged sonogram. Now that's pretty jacked up. That is pretty jacked up to say. Outside of. Now, for clarity, plaintiff testified on March 1st, 2024, that she obtained the sonogram on July 7th, 2023, from Planned Parenthood, Mission Viejo, California, and then edited medical records to add her name and falsely attribute it to SMILE. Regardless of the source, neither SMILE nor Planned Parenthood have any records for any ultrasound appointment for plaintiff. Now, remember, she was trying to say the whole time that that's because somehow anonymously, somehow, she's the one. She's the one, the only one that has managed an anonymous meeting. It's so crazy. Give me 1 second. I keep letting my cigar go out. It's like, what am I doing there? Plaintiff was never. Wait. Whoops. Here, missed one. Further emphasizing, my bad, I almost missed that. Further emphasizing the extreme fraud on this court, notwithstanding sharing other sonograms, quote unquote sonograms, of the alleged twin pregnancy that curiously match up with sonograms and YouTube videos posted from years ago online. He's like, maybe Laura's a time traveler. I mean, did any of you monsters ever think about that? Maybe she planted those years ago, then went back in time and was like, hey, I'm going to take these little seedlings and I'm going to grow a mighty maple. Or an oak, whatever. Plaintiff is now denying the existence of all other sonograms. So, all that other stuff that was out there, that doesn't exist. Just throw it out of your mind. It's not there. Just pretend it's not there. When confronted with science, it's funny. And the opaque lack of evidentiary support at the deposition, plaintiff admitted that she never sought OBGYN or related care for the pregnancy, further demonstrating the fraud on this court and in the collateral proceedings. Plaintiff was never pregnant, and all allegations stemming from the fictitious pregnancy are fraudulent. As a result of plaintiff's gross and consistent fraud, the entire matter is tainted, as neither defendant nor the court had a full and fair opportunity to litigate and discharge their respective duties. So, as far as this, now we get into the background. We get into the meat and potatoes, as it were. I always love the always loved the meat and potato background. So on October 6, 2023, plaintiff obtained an ex parte order of protection against the defendant and indicated that one party was pregnant by the other. Her order alleged, amongst other things, the defendant was cyberbullying her on Reddit and posting private and confidential information, including her medical history, that he could only have access to because of their paternity case surrounding claim that she was pregnant with twins. Now, the entirety of plaintiff's allegations in the order of protection surrounds the existence, of medical evidence to support her fictitious pregnancy. So, in order for this to happen, she has to be pregnant, and there has to be medical evidence to support that he's throwing out there. Now, on October the 25th, 2023, a contested hearing was held before Judge Duty. Plaintiff testified to having attended various medical appointments to quote-unquote confirm her pregnancy, including the ultrasound appointment for the sonogram at issue and specifically relied on by this court. You notice the underlying portion. This was a lie, as the sonogram was fabricated and medical providers have affirmed that plaintiff never attended any pregnancy-related appointments. The same date, the court granted a plaintiff order of protection solely based on the following image posted below, which defendant allegedly posted anonymously on Reddit, which defendant vehemently denies, by the way, and plaintiff testified contained a sonogram that she only sent defendant. She's claiming that, noting Exhibit 3, this is either the same sonogram plaintiff has admitted to changing and that the alleged source of the sonogram has no records of, or one of the other sonograms that plaintiff has testified she did not obtain. So either way, parenthetically, plaintiff herself also posted all the alleged sonograms on a public Dropbox on Reddit and emailed the quote-unquote records to various journalists / media. Yeah, it's kind of hard to claim that your information is being doxed, this medical information, when you yourself are sharing said information. Relevant law. While not inconsistent with the Arizona rules, protective order procedure, Rule 2 invokes the Arizona Rule Family Law Procedure to protective order matters heard in conjunction with pending family law cases. And the ARCP, I'm just going to shorten that, for all other cases. So they're talking about the rules to it. I don't think I want to read the rules to it. You can. Well, yeah, I do. I do, because it's going to go over fraud. Normally I wouldn't read this part, but I do want to read this because it talks about how you arrive at fraud for it. Okay. So here, the RPOP, that's the one I'm going to go with, does not include rules for requesting a new trial or setting aside a judgment. That's Rule 85D3. Notes these two rules are invoked to the extent not inconsistent. Upon both of these rules, the court may relieve a party from judgment based on fraud. So it's noted, the reason all of this is there is because you can relieve that fraud, whether previously called intrinsic or extrinsic misrepresentation or other misconduct. Additionally, both rules permit a motion to be made on the basis of fraud within a reasonable time, no more than 6 months after the entry of judgment. Now, fraud, they note, can be defined as intrinsic or extrinsic. Both justify relief from a judgment. Extrinsic fraud is fraud upon the court and concerns procedural procurement. I don't know why I said procedural. Procurement of a judgment. I don't know. My brain went, what word? You got that other word right? I got to really bomb one. Extrinsic fraud has effect of which prevents a party from having a trial or from presenting all of its case to the court, or which operates not upon matters pertaining to the judgment itself, but to the manner in which it's procured. Now, conversely, intrinsic fraud. So remember, there's the two types. It's defining that. Pertains to the matter of judgment itself. Both forms of fraud constitute fraud for the purposes of this. So the argument here, plaintiff committed fraud in her October 6, 2023 petition for their order of protection. Plaintiff committed fraud extrinsic. Remember, again, extrinsic here, fraud upon the court. When she filed her petition, which the court relied on in order to grant the order, and falsely claimed she was pregnant by the defendant. In her petition, plaintiff alleged that, one, defendant had threatened her, quote, since discovering she was pregnant. Two, defendant had posted personal and sensitive information about her because of their paternity case. Three, Scottsdale PD had called defendant. Four, defendant was anonymously posting private and confidential information, including facts about her medical history. And five, plaintiff feared for her safety. All those allegations are fraudulent. It's amazing, too, when you think about other cases that have involved this person. Think about other claims that have been made. We've been promised, by the way, that we were going to hear some backup for that. You know, we were going to hear how we were all wrong on this case. We didn't know that. What's up, Liz? What's up, Liz, by the way? Woo! Wiggle, wiggle. I got super sticker. Thanks for the $24.99, by the way. Thank you for that. Wiggle, wiggle. Like it. Thank you. Well, I'm wiggling. Plaintiff was never pregnant. The parties never had intercourse. Now, you notice, like, what was crazy about her claim? When you look, she realized that there was a problem with her claims. So she added in the consensual. This is my belief of looking at this. She added in the consensual, the oral sex, but then said there was a non-consensual, the way she wrote it out, the way it's said, or in that document that was provided, there was very brief non-consensual penetration. It's so crazy to read. But she added that in my opinion, because otherwise, it was the driblets. You know, it was the dribble theory. You know, just like the basketball player as a certain lawyer. Oh, my God. What a read that was, by the way. If you missed that class, oh my God, that was something else. I couldn't believe what I was reading. But they never had intercourse. Plaintiff was provided no verifiable medical evidence to confirm her pregnancy because none exists. I like that right there, because none exists. And every provider she testified to being seen by has confirmed that they have no records for plaintiff. There are no sonograms, no monthly follow-up appointments. There is simply no evidence that plaintiff was ever pregnant, and certainly not with defendant's quote-unquote twins. And that's the thing I keep bringing up myself. Again, any of you that have been through, even if you haven't, but especially if you've either been pregnant yourself or, you know, you've been with someone that's been pregnant, known someone, you know how many appointments are there in follow-up. You know, the appointments, they're about making sure that the lives of the mother and the lives of the child or children, they're protected. So, of course, they have quite a few appointments. And this is a person that, again, they have the means by which to go to any appointment out there. It's not like they lack the means. So there's really no excuse for that. I mean, it's such a strange thing. This whole it's so bizarre. It's what's bizarre to me is the need to continue to hammer these points at the cost. You think about the cost that this would have. Again, this is a court doing you wrong. In my opinion, you are done so wrong. This is not justice. At some point, the court should have been like, whoa, wait a minute. What the what? And the court but at the same time, you can be bled financially to the degree that you can be denied justice that way. And it feels like that attempt. Somebody with a larger wallet is like, oh, no. Bust your crime. Thanks for the 2 there. Enjoying the high from all the wins today. Indeed. It'll take me a few days to go through all the documentation that is popped off, by the way, too. I'm just going to say, I like to go through all the documentation. I know some people, depending on how people go, some people they'll read pieces. I feel like I'm extremely behind because, you expect a document or 2 in a week. So you feel like you have time. You don't expect like 4 or 5 to drop, and that's good. It's good that there's stuff, but it takes time to hit it all. And Liz, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships too. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Thank you for Super Chat. Like that, watching the 5 fall in. Brooke, Shannon, Sammy, seeing everybody hit with those. I always like to see who gets hit with those. But to make matters worse, she since testified that she had a miscarriage in September, predating her filing the order of protection. So, I mean, when you think about this, so you have a non-pregnancy, a supposed miscarriage that was before that. I mean, and in so many ways, how would you not look at that as fraud? Because plaintiff was never pregnant, nor could have been pregnant from fellatio. Who's fellatio? Is that an Italian? No, I'm just kidding. I knew a guy. I knew a little Tino guy, and he always cracked me up because he didn't understand certain words. You always have language differences. Like I wouldn't understand certain words too, but one word always cracked me up because he always thought the word feces was fishies. he would ask me about that. He did. He asked me one time. He was like, there was a sign. It was over in this one break area, and it said, I can't remember why it was there, but it said something about feces. And he asked me one day about the sign. He was wanting to understand why there was a sign about fishies there, and I just cracked me up. It just, it cracked me up. And again, with other language, I would butcher other languages too, but that always cracked me up. Fishies. I'm like, those are fish you don't want in your aquarium, my friend. You do not want those in there. But fellatio, and/or she is now alleging she miscarried prior to the filing of the order of protection. The entirety of plaintiff's underlying order of protection is fraud upon the court. Plaintiff's representation of herself in an ex parte filing as pregnant with plaintiff's twins and a victim, a defendant's maliciously claiming she was not pregnant and posting medical evidence online, ostensibly led the court into granting her order of protection. I mean, you see the problem here. I think it makes it very, it, I mean, you think about this. So, you have a non-pregnancy, a supposed miscarriage that was before that. I mean, and so many ways, how would you not look at that as fraud? Because plaintiff was never pregnant, nor could have been pregnant from fellatio. Who's fellatio? Is that an Italian? No, I'm just kidding. I knew a guy. I knew a little Tino guy. And he always cracked me up because he it really shows you there. And again, unless they're setting on some item that mom that's that appointment shit. That was self-reporting. And then someone saying you're not pregnant. I mean, I could go in and say, hey, I got a little, I got fatter during COVID. I mean, I think I'm 18 months pregnant. Excuse me, doc. I know the baby was supposed to come at 9 months, but I think I'm 18 months pregnant. I mean, that explains why I've had this weight gain, right, doc? And doc will be like, I don't think so. I'll be like, but I had a sonogram. I had all these appointments. What about the blood tests? They all said I was pregnant, And I licked that lollipop stick, They're like, you're supposed to pee on that. Well, whatever. It still said that. I'll lick that lollipop stick. Gross. Nasty. Hey, CB Sue, thanks for the 5 there. So many documents. Thanks for all you do. Hey, thank you all for showing up and listening to us. Megan will be on tomorrow, by the way. It's funny. Like, I enjoy it. I like going over there. We have, go over there on Tuesday. She come over on Thursday. We just have fun. And we cover this. Because again, this insanity. It is insanity. It's good. I'm glad Dave Neal's not like, I don't want to see, when I say standing alone, I want you to understand, I'm not talking about you all. I'm talking about people with a microphone picking up, all of you folks stand behind people and make sure that they can't be bullied into silence. But there need to be more people with microphones. And I'm glad Dave has help with that. And Subi Sue, also thanks for the 5. Candy money. Hindi. Get that candy on. Yeah, get that candy on. Thank you. Let's see. Therefore, the court's judgment granting plaintiff's order of protection on October 6, 2023 must be set aside because fraud was practiced in the very act of obtaining it. Without this critical material information, neither defendant nor this court had the full and fair opportunity to litigate and discharge their respective duties. And of course, I mean, that would be a problem, right? What's up, Liz? Thanks for the 21 months, by the way. Thank you. You're simply the best, Tug. Always glad to be here. Well, I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to have all of you. Again, what I love about you folks is I find like a weird case or somebody introduces me or whatever. And you all are like, hey, let's cover it and let's make a difference. Well, I think I've been thinking about there was a statement I heard somebody make a long time ago. And it always stuck with me. And I think it's just as valuable now as it was then. Someone said, you got to stop praying for someone to save you. And you got to start saving yourselves. And it's true. We all got to get together and we got to stop hoping that someone's going to come along and make the world a better place. It's going to save us from all the stupid. And we got to all start saving ourselves. And I'm glad to see so many people do. So plaintiff committed fraud, extrinsically, when she testified before Judge Duty regarding a sonogram on October 25th, 2023, leading Judge Duty to uphold an order of protection. While arguably the entirety of Plaintiff's testimony regarding her alleged pregnancy was fraud. So while arguably everything she said was an out-and-out lie, that's what he's saying there, the court explicitly indicated that the granting of the order of protection based on the sonogram depicted in the image inserted above. Quote, the way you publish this photo, it's unflattering. That's my reason for making this decision. That's crazy, isn't it, by the way? Oh, you did this, therefore. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, really, it's basically, when reading this, what it's basically saying is Laura is being protected from her own stupid by granting an order of protection against Clayton. It's like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Plaintiff committed fraud when she testified as to the existence of the sonogram, which she has admitted she altered, and that the quote-unquote source of the ultrasound, again, either Planned Parenthood or Smile, has no records of it ever existing. Plaintiff committed fraud when A. Plaintiff testified she sent defendant and a member of the media the sonogram depicted in the image at issue, but only defendant could have posted the image containing the sonogram. Yeah, so, I mean, you see there. So she sends it out to multiple people, but only he could be the person that posted it. It couldn't be her. It couldn't be the member of media. It couldn't be anyone. It has to be Clayton doing it. Has to be. Wolf Condor, by the way. Thanks for the 2. In an alternate reality, AH left a fishy in bed. Fishies. That's gross. Fishies. So gross. Plaintiff testified, B, that the main image, the one of her pregnant in a bra and yoga pants, had already been published online, but that the sonogram was not. In reality, both were published by plaintiff on Reddit in her publicly accessible Dropbox. Strange indeed. Plaintiff testified that she sent defendant the ultrasound photo and the ultrasound video, and that she had an ultrasound report to accompany the July 7th, 2023 sonogram. Again, no ultrasound records exist, as there was no ultrasound. There was never an ultrasound. So her claiming that this stuff exists obviously is fraud. As the court explicitly stated that the sole reason it was upholding the order of protection was because of the image contained in the sonogram, plaintiff committed fraud upon the court, extrinsic again. Plaintiff withheld the court that she had doctored the sonogram and that the alleged ultrasound she obtained the sonogram had never taken place because it was fake. Therefore, the court's judgment upon plaintiff's order of protection on October 25th, 2023, must be set aside because fraud was practiced in very act of obtaining it. Defendant is entitled to reasonable attorney fees and costs incurred in this. So defendant is entitled to his fees and costs incurred as a result of plaintiff's lies and manipulation by making this malignant filing and then testifying before the court alleging facts and circumstances now known to defendant to be false and or fraudulent. To be clear, plaintiff was fully aware of the true nature and circumstances underpinning her perjurious statements when she admitted quote-unquote medical evidence. On October 6th and the 25th of 2023, she knew she wasn't pregnant. She had not received an ultrasound for alleged twins, and that the sonogram she proffered was created by her. Defendant had to incur significant costs and fees unraveling plaintiff's web of lies, which included having to defend himself against her malignant filings of her underlying order of protection. Defendant is entitled to his reasonable attorney fees and costs expended defending himself against plaintiff and filed motions. To be clear, there's absolutely no suggestion that plaintiff's attorney for the order of protection had any knowledge that he was presenting fabricated medical records. Although plaintiff has a history of fraud, to the extent of which includes, but is not limited to, 3 known prior victims who have claimed they were subjected to similar false pregnancy, it was not yet fully exposed until well after the protective order proceeding. So she did it, not another person, The lawyers, they weren't in on it. She did this. That's what he's noting. That's very nice of him to note, by the way. So he's asking for the dismissal of the order of protection with prejudice on the basis of fraud. Leave the defendant to submit a child law affidavit. Award defendant his reasonable attorney fees. And order such further relief as the judge deems, including sanctions, etc. Now, as far as exhibits, we get into some redacted items. Let's see. Let's go over these. Let's look at this here. So, video deposition of redacted on behalf of the witness, redacted exhibits. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. Give me 1 minute. This tiny ass word. Whoa, that's a little big. I'm bigging it a little too much there. 1 second. There we go. I like that. Give me 1 second here. Almost got it. All right, there we are. I love it now. I love it. I love it. Okay, here we go. So exhibits. They go over all the exhibits. You can see ultrasound, text messages, different ultrasound, other text messages, and so on. They have all of this noted. You can see. And you notice it skips pages. Yeah. Get a lot of redaction too. A lot of redaction. Names begin with Z, but I forgot. Answer question. He, she is your neurologist at Barrow. Yes. So redacted. You also told me that you're seeing an online provider. Is that correct? Correct. When was the last time you saw the online provider? I haven't had a video visit with that person in maybe 1.5 years to 2 years. What other providers have you seen? Let's look at 24 months, past 24 months. So I saw Mom Doc. I don't recall. I saw a provider at Banner Urgent Care. I think her name was Tamara, something with an L. And she was, I think, she may have been a nurse practitioner. I saw a doctor at Planned Parenthood, Mission Viejo. And you said, how long? You're doing great. So one of the questions I had ahead of me, wait, that's weird. That's weird how it jumps there. So one of the questions I had ahead of me was, I've been to Planned Parenthood in the past 24 months. Yes. Planned Parenthood, been to is Mission Viejo, another branch. Yes. When was that? That was in July of last year. So that's 2023 of July. That's correct. You have no problems expanding the HIPAA release to include Planned Parenthood, Mission Viejo for that time period? No. Have you seen any other providers in Arizona? No. Just the one visit in the summer of 2023 to that location, Mission Viejo. Yes. Any other medical providers in the last 24 months? Lots of redactions. Good Lord. Okay, we get to another one. Again, we skipped a lot of pages. I'm going to show you Exhibit 9. Exhibit 9 is from Scottsdale Medical Labs. Have you seen a patient? Have you been a patient, rather, at Scottsdale Medical Lab or Laboratory or Labs? Yes. This is an ultrasound dated July 7th, 2023. Yes. Is your name on the top and your birth date next to it? Yep. She's saying. And this is the ultrasound you received at Smile that was presented by Bonnie Slater in the prior proceeding, correct? Yes, it was, but it was actually Planned Parenthood. Remember that one? Okay, I want to make sure I clarify that. Let's start off with the basics. On Exhibit 9, is that your ultrasound? Yes. Did you go into a facility, a Smile facility, because it's marked Smile to get this ultrasound? I did not, she says. Where'd you get it? Planned Parenthood, Mission Viejo. So I don't know Mission Viejo well, but is what you are suggesting that Scottsdale Medical Imaging has a branch in Mission Viejo, California? No. So I'm totally confused here. I'll give you a chance to explain how there's a Scottsdale Medical Imaging ultrasound that you claim is from Mission Viejo. She says, oh, that was actually taken in Mission Viejo. That was not taken at Smile. So what does it say? Smile on it. I did change the top from Planned Parenthood to Smile because I don't want him to contact the doctor. I'm showing you real clearly Bates stamped. So they give the evidence stamp there. It's an ultrasound image you are admitting to having changed information on. Is that true? Just the top left, yes, the location. I'm going to ask you the question again. Yes. Did you change the date on Exhibit 9? Making sure I roll. I always check the page numbers because of the way they go. Some of them go out of weird orders, so that's why I'm checking. The lawyer's like, oh, she answered that objection. So Woodnick's like, other than changing the words, the sword, the sword, the word is smile on the exhibit. Change anything? No. All right, Laura. I'm going to give you an opportunity now because we are 3 years into this and a year into this case. This is the only document you've altered. Yes. So every exhibit in this entire history of Fane, our position, which are feigned pregnancies, this is the only document you have acknowledging having touched via arts and crafts is this specific one. Marked Exhibit 9. Arts and crafts. I like that. And the lawyer's like, objection form. I'm going to ask you to keep this professional. And she's like, well, this is the only one. This is the only one. And I hope that the fact I'm admitting that would mean something. And Woodnick's like, well, it means that you lied. So, you notice it means that you lied in an exhibit. That's what it means. It's not a, wow, you had to come to Jesus moment and you actually admitted this. That's not giving you, you don't bank goodwill by making up shit and then putting it on file. I mean, I hope that makes sense, right? Orwitz, Feinberg, and Orwitz, by the way, thanks for 5. That's why AH put the thing on the bed before Coachella. She wanted JD to sleep with the fishies. Oh, that's so gross. The fossils. That's so nasty. But she's like, I mean, that's crazy the way she goes over this. She's like, I hope that would mean something. Like you're banking goodwill. Well, I admitted that it was fake. Now it's like, yeah, but they had to dig this shit up and find it. You didn't admit it. You didn't say, well, actually, no. After the fact, after it was brought up that you flagrantly lied then. So this is where we go back to the issue of you being able to plead the fifth. You acknowledge you had a medical document that you changed, and you are telling me now that's the only one I have to know about. Yes. What software did you use? Adobe Acrobat. Where were you when you changed it? At my house. When did you change it? Whenever that was, because I didn't want him to contact Planned Parenthood. At what point were you going to tell my office or your attorney that you doctored that? She's like, I mean, as I said, it's my ultrasound. It's my ultrasound. Bonnie Hunter subsequently withdrew from representing you. She's like, nah, Bonnie did not. I just didn't re-up the retainer because $5,000 gone through in a week. So you're aware that she used this exhibit in your proceeding, right? Correct. It's my ultrasound. Okay. So now I want to show you Exhibit 10. I think we have a little technology action here. It's like, well, there's actually no audio on this. I'm going to show it to you. Video plays. Do you see the exhibit, Laura? Yes. This is a video dated September the 5th, 2023. Yep. Is that yours? No, I never stated that was mine. I was asked that by Dave Neal. Dave Neal, the devil. Be careful. Careful. You don't want to conjure him. Dave. Dave cracks me up, by the way. Exhibit 10, which is Smile Sonogram. What's the identifying information on here? Redacted. What's the other identifying information? So they give a GA equals. So you admit that the sonogram Exhibit 10 is not yours. Okay, yes, that's not mine. Okay. So if I were to look at the sonogram of this alleged pregnancy, the only place I would see that is from the original source would be Mission Viejo, Planned Parenthood. Wait, what are we talking about? Are you talking about the video, or I'm confused? And that's fair. Yeah, I think everyone's confused. Your testimony under Exhibit 10 is that ain't you. It's like, yep, that's correct. How many sonograms have you had for this alleged pregnancy? 1. Where was it? Mission Viejo. So I'm going to ask my question again. If I were to want the original source of the sonogram, the only sonogram that you had taken in the 6 or 7 month pregnancy, I could only get from the source at Mission Viejo, Planned Parenthood. Yes, and I went anonymously, she adds. So, if I issue a subpoena because you're going to sign a consent when we bring this order to Judge Matta's attention, they're not going to say, or they're going to know it was you there. She's like, I self-paid. I mean, I don't know. So again, she's going with the anonymous. Yeah, which again, Megan was talking about, no. I mean, again, there's so many problems with the idea that you can just go in, pay. They don't do any documentation. I mean, there's so much craziness to that anyway. So, okay. So I'm going to give you an opportunity here because you've got statements under oath. 1 second. Give me 1 minute here to check something. Yeah. Sorry, I saw I had somebody send me something. It was funny. My bad. I was seeing if it pertained to this. I was making sure. So I'm going to ask you, give you an opportunity because you got statements under oath. We're about to get from prior proceedings. You don't have to answer my questions. You can plead the 5th. Keeps telling her, you don't have to answer this. Your testimony is now that the sonograms that I just presented to you are not yours, correct? She said, the one's mine. And it came from Mission Viejo, but they're not going to have any idea that it was you because you did it anonymously. But then you went back and you added your name to it. And the lawyer's like, I have objection to that form. The witness is like, no, I didn't add my name to it. My name was on it. I changed the smile thing. Your name was on it. Yeah, I changed smile. Hang on for a second. You just told me, Laura, that you were anonymous at Planned Parenthood. So how's your fucking name on it? He didn't say that, by the way, but that's a question, So you're anonymous there. Nobody has any clue who you are, but your name is on the document. Like, how does that work again, Laura? How'd your name get on there? Why didn't they just call you? I don't know. What's that name people like to use? Oh, yeah, Jane Doe. Why didn't they use that? Why didn't they use Anon? Why didn't they leave it blank? Why didn't they call it self-pay? Why didn't they call it tonsillitis and not twins? How'd your name get on the document? It's a very good question. Like, why is your name on this document? Because you said that they don't keep information like that. So they don't document it. They just put your fucking name on documents, but they don't actually keep a record of it. like, what world? Oh my God, my brain's going to explode. Give me a second. I mean, my brain, oh my God, I think I'm having an aneurysm. I can't. Okay, I can. I'm a professional. Give me a second. I have to drink. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Oh my God. I mean, seriously. I mean, how dumb would you have to be like, yeah, that makes sense. So I think I'm confused to what she asked. He's like, no problem. We will slow it down a little. When I say something like that to someone, I'm being an asshole, by the way. I'm going to slow it down for you. Would you like me to speak at this speed? And then you can. Are you talking about, can you just tell me what exhibit? Okay, so to be clear, exhibit 9 we're talking about. Exhibit 9, yeah. That's the one where you changed and attributed to another medical provider located in Scottsdale, Arizona, correct? It's like, yeah, that's correct. And that's Smile, which again, they give the Scottsdale Medical Imaging Lab, something like that, correct? She says, we've gone there before. You're patient at Smile, correct. So when I get a subpoena for the records there, this isn't going to be there because they didn't do the test. That's correct. Because you just put their name on the test, correct. This, according to you, it originated in California, correct. And you went there anonymously, correct. And yeah, I added my name in the facility name, correct. Wait. So you put your name on there too? What? So now you're changing your testimony. So it's not, you originally said you just changed and added the word smile. You like literally just said it right here. Right here. But now under oath, you're saying that you added your name to it too, right? Correct? And she's like, yeah, that's right. Oh my God. I mean, it's not a story that changed over months. It's a story that literally just changed in the last 3 minutes. Oh my God. Help me. And your date of birth. Yep, I changed that at top. My date of birth, actually, I think they may have added my date of birth. They may have had my date of birth there. They may have added that. If you were to get the record, they may have my date of birth because they did ask my age. What? So what did they put on your? I'm confused. What was supposed to be there originally as far as a name? What appeared in the blank before that? What? Here's a better question. Where is the original? With the blank then? That's what I would ask right there. Like, what was originally there? You know? Jane Q Public? I mean, what the fuck did they call you? They went out of their way and got your date of birth for some reason. But they didn't bother to go any further with that information. They were like, no. Your name doesn't matter to us. But your age mattered to us. I mean, obviously she's not like this isn't an issue of her being like a kid or something where you might have some kind of duty to warn or something. I'm trying to think of a circumstance where this would fit, which it doesn't. But I'm just, in what world would this happen anyway? Like if we throw out all the other issues where you could run into so many problems being a medical provider and not getting information there. But because, again, you're dispensing medical advice, oh my God, you see all the problems there. But if we threw that out, again, why would they collect certain information, but not that? I mean, if you would have said, oh, well, they wanted to know how long I perhaps had been pregnant, or okay, but your date of birth, why? Because they're wanting to make sure they cover their asses. Well, if they're covering their asses, why wouldn't they keep a record of who you are? So when you submit records to the court, you understand that you're signing a verification with them with the expectation of honesty. Yeah. I don't believe this was ever submitted to the court. All right. Well, I'm not done with Exhibit 9 yet. Your testimony now, we worked through it a little. Is the entire top of Exhibit 9 is an ultrasound from Planned Parenthood in California where you appeared anonymously. You took that ultrasound and you added your name and date and information to it. The date is correct. Okay. Where is this? Where's the original? I mean, I have it. I mean, I'm sure I'd have it on my computer. Okay. What would you have on your computer? Like the images, my photos? How did Planned Parenthood account? How did they give it to you? They sent it to me via, maybe I actually just took a screen grab of it. No, doesn't look like that. I don't recall. How the fuck did you get it? I mean, what? They sent it to me. How'd they send it to you? They don't know who you are. Holy shit. How did that happen? Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, you see the absurdity to this. This is like this ain't the circus. This is bringing in the fucking clowns. Oh my God. Okay, so maybe just as a screen grab. Did they? I'm not familiar with Mission Viejo, Planned Parenthood. Do they have a medical records portal? No, they do not. Did you walk out of Planned Parenthood with this? With what? With the damn imaging doctor. Did you walk out with it? Well, I didn't. Are you referring to doctoring in terms of the top? Yes. Okay. I mean, I didn't alter the ultrasound image. This is even reviewed by another doctor independently. Well, we can debate that. But this particular image, how did you get it? I thought I'd taken a picture with my phone, but it doesn't look like it was taking my phone. So I don't recall. Like, you don't recall how you got it? Oh my God. Is it like the twins? Did you mouth it into existence? Is that another thing that was born in your mouth? I mean, where the fuck did it come from? Like, she's amazing. She speaks shit into existence. Babies incubate in your mouthpiece. Sonograms, they pop out like magic. Holy shit, Laura, start talking about me being a millionaire. Doug could really use those megabucks. Only God, where'd all this money come from? Laura birthed it into existence. Hell to the yeah. Tramp stamp lawyer, if you can make that happen, I'll totally switch sides. I mean, holy shit. Oh man. That was oh my God. She's speaking in tongues. What's going on? Okay. I gotta go back here. So let's see. I don't recall. So you may have. Your position would be you were in Planned Parenthood. You took a screenshot with a cell phone. Then you came back to Phoenix. You used your Photoshop to change it. I used Adobe Acrobat. Yeah. How would you get me the original of what this was before you messed with it? I can contact Planned Parenthood to see if from the day I was there, if there are records. How would they know, Laura? How would they know if there are records? How many people do you think Planned Parenthood saw that day? And if they really do allow anonymous visits, how would you fucking contact them? Well, I'm patient, aged, whatever. I know you don't need to verify that. You can just give me medical records. You just totally give that to me. I don't need any verification whatsoever other than my age. Oh my God. And the date I was there. My bad. Holy God. So you'd be willing to, for my office, sign not just a HIPAA release, but a special waiver that California may require because of the confidentiality laws of Planned Parenthood and privacy. So I get the original. She's like, I mean, I don't know what rights I would be waiving in California. Well, you want Judge Matta to have the original records in front of her, correct? Judge Matta will see I was pregnant. I have other pregnancy records as well. This is not a debate, Laura. This is not a debate. This in particular, Exhibit 9, you have provided and acknowledged to Clayton. Yes, to Clayton. I've got it too. It's right in front of me. You acknowledge you made changes to this document, correct? Correct. Then you acknowledge that it's important that we know what the original was of this document to know what you changed. Correct. Because right now, I got to take your word that it's the original, right? Because there's no verification. Correct. So you're going to work with my office to contact Mission Viejo and get the original source material from their database, whatever it is, so we can see what this image looked like before you, whatever you did to it. Whatever you did. I mean, what did you add? I don't know. Did you get it sponsored by SpaghettiOs? I'm not fucking sure here anymore. I mean, where'd that Campbell soup freaking image come from? I added it. Okay, whatever. You know, holy God. Whatever you did, can we agree? She's like, like I said, I went anonymous, but I'm happy to help you guys however I can. Why did you go anonymous? Because I didn't want people to know I was pregnant at the time. But Planned Parenthood is privileged. You've been there before. I have been there before. I didn't want anyone to find out because I wasn't in a relationship or anything. You understand why people may think you're lying about that, right? I do, yeah. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to move to Exhibit 10. Was 10 the video? I think it cuts off from there. Okay. Now that's crazy. That is crazy. You have to admit, that exhibit alone is fucking crazy. There is so much bullshit in that. I mean, she changed her story while talking to him. And her new lawyer is like, she lied a little. It's like, no, you can go through and read it. When you read it, the downplaying of what happened there is insane. Well, let's see. Minute entry. Okay, let me just see what else is here. Okay, so this is the court finding for DV. This is the actual, the filing, hearing items, everything, how that's put in. So again, if you wanted to see the court finds by preponderance of evidence that there is reasonable cause to believe the defendant has committed an act of DV within the last year, the court further finds a good cause, existence, continue order of protection. I mean, you see how this lays out. So, and again, it breaks that down. So we saw that. Now, how to win the scariest costume contest? Anonymous woman contest. Now, this had been removed by moderators, by the way. They actually took it down. But this is included in the court document, just to say this is Exhibit 3. Anonymous woman costume includes sports bra. It includes leggings, belly bump, unbrushed wig, real sonogram. Here's this strange thing when people go through. There's this idea that people are owed nicety to somebody that's doing this. And again, they did this. And again, they may have posted whatever themselves. Oh my God. It's crazy. What up, Sandra D, by the way? Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your membership. Welcome to Tug Stugs. Thank you, Sandra D, by the way. Appreciate you. Thank you. And also, thank you for the gifted membership and the second gifted membership. So thank you for your membership and 2 other memberships you've given to other people. Thank you for that. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. And Liz, thank you for 5 gifted memberships as well. Dropping those in. Panda Bear was the first one that got hit with that. Clout Trout. I love some of the names. I didn't do nothing. Made your mom. Some of the names. Scorpion got one there. Megan Fox. Did you see that in the chat? Megan Fox is a member. I didn't hear that screaming fox thing either. Oh, that's hilarious. Thank you, folks. I very much appreciate you all. Thank you. Just thought that was funny. I always like looking at see who gets a membership. Megan freaking Fox. Yay, Megan! Let's see. Gangrous Law. Dear Greg, this letter serves as written notice to you, pursuant to Rule 26, that redacted intends to bring a motion under Rule 26. I'm just saying 20, it's C3 as well. I'm just skipping that. As the court to sanction you, pleading you filed March 25th, 2024, entitled Motion for Relief from Judgment Based on Fraud. As explained below, the motion you filed violates. You remember this. I mean, listen to this stuff. It's crazy. The most serious violation in your motion is the number of knowingly false statements of fact it contains. At this point in the case, you cannot claim these statements are simple mistakes or that you did not have enough information to know the truth. In addition, the sheer number of factual misstatements makes it appear you are intentionally trying to defraud the court by advancing a narrative that you know or reasonably should know is completely or totally false. Below is a list of this. I draw a distinction between alleged and that you claim is true, but which you know is disputed and unproven, and a representation which you avow something has been factually established and is no longer disputed. Just a note, again, you saw who this is from, by the way. What's up, Ray Bay? Thanks for the 16 months. Whoa, 16 months with the Thugs. I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you. I'm glad you've been here 16 months. That's almost a twinspiracy. You're almost there. 9 months, close. 16, getting there. Thank you, by the way. Tracy, thanks for the 2. And this is why Corey ran for the hills, LOL. Indeed. Keith, Michelle, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your membership and welcome to the Thugs. Thank you. Man, I love you folks. I do. I'm glad that you're here. Like for me, I don't like reading I like to have I read a little bit of this stuff to see what it was over, but I don't like to read the entire document. And I've seen some of this stuff, but I think it adds context. You got to remember too. Here's something like, for all you folks that are keeping up with everything that's going on, remember new people pop into this matter and they have to see, they have to see how crazy this stuff is. Like that part changing up, the alleged twins, the fact that there's no follow-up. Again, people have no idea how insane this has gotten. So thank you. Even if you see something before, just a reminder of how insane it is. And sometimes we need the reminder of how insane some of this is too. So in other words, I have no problem with you saying Clayton claims redacted was never pregnant. This is an accurate statement of the case. Same as if I file a pleading which says redacted claims Clayton Echard. Notice how fucked up that is, by the way. Well, if I filed something that says, well, she claims, accurate summaries of disputed allegations are always okay. But I do have a serious problem with you making an unqualified representation to the court that redacted was never pregnant, as if that's actually been established as fact. Accurate statements about the disputed claims are fair. False representation facts are not. Having said that, here's our list. Plaintiff was never pregnant by defendant. This statement violates the rule because it is presented as a statement of fact, but it has never been proven as true. You also know the statement is directly contradicted by extensive evidence, including no fewer than 5 pregnancy tests. Multiple pregnancy tests after it was filed, and at least 1 pregnancy test in front of Clayton. You also know that this is refuted by the expert Dr. Mitchell, but not a doctor, not an OBGYN that she actually saw, mind you, but an expert. You hired an OBGYN, but you didn't bring in the fucking person that's supposed to see her. I mean, that infuriates me sometimes when I see that. It's just crazy when you think about it. We hired an OBGYN, but there's no OBGYN that ever saw her. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. That's wild, right? You see a problem in that, right? Oh my God. Plaintiff has no verifiable medical evidence to support her alleged twins' pregnancy. This statement violates the rules because you know it's false. She has evidence. Dr. Medchill redacted also testified under oath about these issues. She provided an affidavit attached to Medchill's report explaining and summarizing the extensive medical evidence. I understand you don't accept this as conclusive, but that's entirely different than telling the court no evidence exists when you know it does. Now, to date, every obstetrician and gynecologist has indicated there are no records that she was never seen as a patient. This violates because it's false. Violates because you intentionally omit additional information in order to make it. In terms of falsity, you know, mom doc, self-report, fucking self-report. That's supposed to be proof. Where's Planned Parenthood, by the way? Hey, David, where's Planned Parenthood on here? I'm just curious. Why the fuck didn't you add Planned Parenthood? Are you avoiding that idea? Are we just pretending that little chapter didn't happen? That little bump, oopsie? like that wasn't there? Are we just totally ignoring that? You notice that's not there? There's no smile, whoops, crossed out. But mom doc. Showing she was seen there. If you somehow missed that, they're attached to Dr. Medchill. Dr. Medchill. Statement also violates, to explain, you have received confirmation from other OBGYNs, such as Dr. McCool, stating that Redacted made appointments to receive care, but she canceled them for totally benign reasons, such as testing positive for COVID. That emotion clearly was intended to create a false impression. There was zero evidence that Redacted ever sought any care from anyone. We know who Redacted is, by the way. I just say Redacted because anytime I hit a redacted box, that's just a habit, okay? Because if I start filling them in one day, I'm going to make a mistake. And I'm going to say a name that I don't want to say. So that's why I do that, just by the way. These implications are completely and totally false. Further emphasizing the extreme fraud in the case, other sonograms of the alleged twin pregnancy curiously match up with YouTube videos from years on. This statement, it's a violation because it implies there's any evidence to show she created a fake sonogram using an old YouTube. She fucking faked a video. Oh my God. She faked some shit. She admitted she changed it. She changed items. And he says, well, curiously, it hooks up there. As you know, the facts are the following. Dave Neal, that devil, Dave Neal. Devil Neal. He who shall not be named. Dave Neal not only did this, but he's actually the monster that scarred Harry Potter and killed his parents. Like, wait a minute, that was Voldemort. Oh, well, he really is that Dave freaking Neal monster. Previously disclosed an alleged video of a sonogram with Redacted's name on it. My understanding is the exhibit at Redacted's deposition, Exhibit 9. A screenshot is shown below. I believe this is the YouTube video you mentioned. Babe. You know, have you seen? Check this out. I'm going to do something real quick. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Create. 1 second here. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna make something for you, okay? Put your name on an ultrasound. So how many results do we have where we could make one of these? You know what's funny is I made one of these the other day. And when I did, it looked just like that. And I'm not saying that's what happened here, but it was really interesting that when I made one, it had baby at the bottom like that. It was very strange. I'm going to have to freaking pull. I was trying to see if I had the one still on file. because there's so many like Fake a Baby and all these other weird places, you know. Fake a Baby, that place is crazy, by the way. I mean, it is crazy. Fake a Baby. Let's see. Which one is the one I used? Is it this one? Let's see. I want 7 weeks. I want That Umbrella Guy. Just give me a second. I'm making me some sexiness here. I mean, my God. Let me see. That one has like a little lizard looking thing in it. It's actually better. Fake a Babies. Let me just pull this up, okay? Fake a Babies actually looks better. See, at least Fake a Babies has, you know, I haven't made this one yet, but at least Fake a Babies has all this cool stuff. And like I said, I didn't say she got this from there. I've not indicated that in any way. I'm just saying that there are a billion places online that I made one the other day because live, and it's so reminded me of the way that was laid out. Whoops, that's the wrong document. Here it is. I got the wrong one. There's so many freaking documents here. Give me a second. It's this one. Yeah. It's funny. I'm going to have to pull it up. Why is General Electric? Is that GE? It's what it looks like. It's L. It's what is that? Give me what is that symbol? I'm just curious. What is that right there? I don't know what that is. What is that? Somebody tell me. Is that is that sponsorship by General Electric? I mean, my God, that's what it looks like, right? Let me zoom in on that. I want to see it. Like when I first look at it, that's what that is, right? Damn, it's hard to zoom in on these things. God, there's so many. It's like words. It skipped back down my document, so I'm having to zoom back down. I zoomed it in so far, it was like, yeah, you could see that from the moon. We're gonna have to jump down the document. So I'm getting back to place because it's so small there. What page is that? Okay, there we go. Give me 1 second. I'll have to center all this stuff when we get there because this is from Exhibit 4. So it skipped me back to Exhibit 2, yeah, because it zooms in. There we are, General Electric. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay, I was just curious. Check it out. General Electric. I wanted to look at everything on here, by the way. I just wanted to see it. See how it's set up. Where's all the other babies? Is this the cannibal baby? Did it eat the other baby? It's who makes the machines. I thought it was sponsorship. Powered by General Electric. Bringing your baby by General Electric. I wanted to see what all was here, you know. I don't remember having a sponsorship thing. I mean, not a sponsor. I don't remember having a powered by. I need to go back into the ultrasounds, you know, that we have. I need to look over them again. Rhode Island lady, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs, by the way. Appreciate you. Now, GE catches hate. Now, I'm not hating on GE in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying. I was like, wait a minute. What's that? Damn you, GE. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let me put this back up here. I'm returning it to site, you know. Plus, I want you to be able to read all the damn you Dave Neals that are in here, you know. So Redacted's testimony about this point has never wavered. She says Dave Neal sent it to her after he claimed to have received it from an anonymous source. So that Dave Neal. And he was like, well, here's the receipts of actually how this stuff came together. This is what the letter chain looks like. But remember, Dave Neal. So Dave Neal somehow is part of the Twinspiracy too. And not just because damn that Dave Neal for covering it. Oh no. Dave Neal somehow, he's created it. Holy God. It's so bizarre. Has there been a reverse image search? The problem with reverse image search, and again, there's been image searches on other items, but the problem with which sounds like the one, when people were talking today, taking shots of it, man, so many ultrasounds came up. Now with other items, but Dave Neal, I don't know, Dave Neal, has there been? No, I'm just kidding. Redacted asked Dave to disclose that source, and he never did. Based on this, Redacted's belief is that Dave, or someone working with Dave, they created a fake video in an effort to smear Redacted and to help Clayton. That will obviously, I guess, be part of the defamation lawsuit Redacted plans to bring against both Clayton, Dave, and others once this matter is over. This motherfucker, excuse my words, this mofo, I didn't say the whole word, this mofo is still threatening people with lawsuits after he himself said that his client lies. They are so ass mad. This guy is supposed to be a First Amendment lawyer. You remember that? Runs with other First Amendment lawyers. They follow him all over his Twitter. You should look through the followings or the people who have liked a post here or there over time, because it's fascinating to see some of the names that are there, and it's like, this is one of your brethren. maybe you all should check into what First Amendment protections work as. Well, you didn't say. Well, I'm allowed to have opinions on a case. I'm allowed to read documents. It's fucking crazy. But they're like, no, Dave, she said that. Yeah, that might not go good for you. Because once Dave got threatened, he started pulling up information and his receipts on stuff. And he's like, actually. So in any event, your statement to the court regarding the sonogram video clearly omits the full context of the video. In doing so, you falsely implied Redacted had something to do with creating this fake video, and or that you have a good faith basis to believe evidence exists showing she created this. She's flatly denied, Grace. So she flatly denied it. Therefore, that's the truth. You have no evidence whatsoever to show that she did. Taken as a whole, it shows your assertions and representation in this motion go far, far beyond zealous advocacy. You're simply lying to the court about the facts and the evidence in an attempt to help your client. This is unacceptable. In sum, I have no problem with you advocating zealously on behalf of Clayton, just as I am trying to with Redacted. However, there are limits. Oh, really? There are limits, you say. Fascinating. Fascinating. Didn't seem like you have any, but okay. You're not allowed to make knowingly false statements to the court, and you're not allowed to withhold information in an attempt to mislead the court. The motion you filed clearly violates both of those standards, represents a clear violation of Rule 26. Accordingly, I demand you withdraw or correct this motion within 10 days. If you choose not to do so, I will seek sanctions. Okay. David, the upcoming trial is very simple, and the relentless emails and demands are only creating more legal work for naught and do not help. I'm very uncomfortable with the aggressive way you are litigating this, sharing pleadings on your blog and Twitter battles. I've expressed my concerns with some of the things you have said and doing my level best to remain focused on what should be simple evidence presented to Judge Matta. I said George Matta. My bad. There. That was unknowingly represented. George Matta. Whoops. Angela, thanks for the 20 months. You had 20 months. Pickle you. Pickle you, baby. Because we pick you. I love it. Student, you've been so awesome for my mental health. Thanks, Tug. Love when you have Megan on. She'll be on tomorrow, by the way. We'll have fun with that. I love it too. It's fun. It's a time to cut loose and have a good time. Tracy, thanks for the 5. Dave, build the source today. It's you, Laura Owens. Oh, the clown car. I know. That's what I'm saying. He actually got out his information. He was like, well, actually. I thought that was fascinating. So, I strongly disagree with your Rule 26 analysis, and I regret withdrawing Clayton's motion for sanctions. My intention in withdrawing it was to keep the focus on simple facts of the case. I thought it would encourage your camp to tone down the rhetoric and toxicity. Obviously, that didn't happen. As you stated in the response to your sardonic lunch motion, I'm willing to discuss issues pertaining to the trial process with you, but only with a neutral third party present. I'm not comfortable with how you communicate and had hoped that your prior apology after the ad hominem commentary would have changed that. It is not. This is Clayton and Redacted's case, not ours. As for your letter and 10-day demand, I will respond briefly to your 4 salient issues. If you choose to file Rule 26 motion or sanctions, we will respond and let the court make the matter. The relying motion at issue. 1 second. Limiting language that was perhaps inartful, but certainly not malignant or violent of Rule 26. Although I do not owe you an explanation, I'm documenting our position and asking you that you stop your hostile litigation. Number 1, Plaintiff was never pregnant by defendant is a factual contention with evidentiary support based on belief formed after reasonable inquiry. To wit, Clayton's sincere, incredible, and unambiguous denial of vaginal intercourse or conduct that could have caused the pregnancy. Only redacted is ever mentioned there being any sorts of penetrative conduct, and her narrative has widely shifted from his fluids being down there after she performed oral to him being too high to remember penetration to the now absurd claim of ARP. Clayton's assertion that redacted could never have been pregnant by him remains the same. Number 2, plaintiff has provided no verifiable medical evidence support her alleged twin pregnancy. Is a factual content with evidentiary support based on the review and disclosure she provided. Verifiable medical evidence is an important qualifier here because it limits the scope of the contention to evidence that could be proven accurate to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty and evidentiary scrutiny. Recall, we have still not received any confirmation that redacted had a sonogram done 7-2 at Planned Parenthood and have in fact received records indicating all she had was a telehealth appointment at the end of June, which aligns with her various emails to Clayton's father regarding the same. Mom doc records support the absence of pregnancy and say nothing about whether a pregnancy ever existed. Indeed, that is very much true. To date, every obstetrician, gynecologist, have indicated there are no records she was ever seen or that she was never seen as a patient is factual based on the information she provided or lack thereof. Making an appointment that was not kept with Dr. McCool, Dr. Higley does not constitute being seen as a patient. For Mom Doc, the statement also functioned as a denial of factual contention warranted on the evidence, Rule 26b-4, i.e., we deny her factual contention. She was seen as a patient by an OBGYN based on the totality of evidence Her being seen by mom doc for a non-pregnancy related pap smear is not her being seen as a patient for pregnancy, including the fact that she alleged before we filed the motion that she had miscarried months earlier. To the extent this does not address her being seen at mom doc for non-pregnancy related medical treatment, we will amend that to clarify. Months after redacted claims she miscarried, she was seen on November the 14th, 2023 at mom doc, who confirmed she wasn't pregnant. So they're like, hey, okay, we'll redact that. We'll make sure that we include mom doc for you since you want it so much. But by the way, she's already saying, oh, well, it's not there. So they said, yeah, you're not pregnant. Woohoo, what a win. Steph, by the way, thank you for the gifted membership there. Purchase is made simple, got it? Boom. Appreciate you. Thank you. So to the extent there, I like that statement. Now on the 4th, about these sonograms curiously matching up with sonograms about YouTube videos posted from years ago, factually accurate contention, they very much match up. They very much do. Redacted, presented with this evidence during her deposition. See also the 5th supplemental disclosure statement, which includes the email your client sent to Steve Ramon, Reality Steve, that's who we're talking about, from her email with the same sonogram attachment. She sent the same video to Clayton in October and said, here's my, let's see, what is that? 1 million. Jesus, those zeros just blend, don't they? Is that 10 million, 100 million? I don't know. It's other 10. There's too many zeros, man. They all bleed and like, when I'm looking at that black and white, it glares off of it. I'm like, ugh, I'm blinded by the light. Blinded by the light. Let me count. I have to know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is that, 100 million? Real ultrasound video. I hate not knowing. That's what I mean. Like when people pick through stuff, that's a problem some of us suffer. We actually want to know what stuff actually says. we don't arts and craft when we read. Fascinating, isn't it? What's up, Ray Ray? Thanks for the 8 there. Woohoo, made it. So glad you're still alive, Tug. Hail to the chat. Hail to the chat indeed. By the way, Ray Ray is launching this beautiful thing. He's launching a web service. It's fascinating because one of the other things we do is we create comic books. By the way, people have been asking about. So if we're setting up payment, I think tomorrow, if everything goes through payment, so we should print tomorrow. So we should be good. Bam. But Ray is going to make that a lot easier for a lot of people. So if people want to, Ray, let me see. Where are you, Ray? Why don't you link, Ray? That way people can actually look into with everything too. I think that's actually very important. It's a good service. And support Ray. He has done a lot to help out yours truly. I think that's I think that's something I really need to hammer down because, people like Laura here, there's not just one person that takes aim at folks. When they take aim, they don't just go after your name or your home. They go after everything you do. And, in the prior case I was covering, yeah, they went after Teespring, which houses shirts, and Teespring in their response, they actually started trying to be nasty about, instead of admitting that they were just kowtowing to a bunch of assholes online, they were like, well, actually. So it's like, no, man, no, none of that at all. So let me pin Ray's stuff here. Well, Ray, I'm trying to pin it. Damn it. Nothing is working right in chats today. So I'm going to try to pin this. Okay, buddy. There you go. But anyway, I appreciate you, Ray. You see the order of protection here too? So the messages on this. Tell the judge what happened, why you need this order. On 6/1, Clayton has sent threatening messages since discovering I was pregnant, such as, I legitimately hate you right now. My hatred will only grow if you decide to put me through all of this. My animosity will last for a lifetime. And that's not something either of us want to be subjecting ourselves to. One thing about me is when I make up my mind for good, especially when it's rooted in anger, I don't sway. Ever my hate is towards you and you only. If you decide to not take plan B in the wild event that you are pregnant, I will hate you even more. Yeah, context. Yes, that's the thing you have to remember with any statement, though. I hope people understand these are her stating things without any context whatsoever. So just to note that, okay? This is just how she sets it up. This is what she presented to a courtroom. On 9/21, Clayton Echard was the bachelor and has many diehard loyal fans. He and I are involved in a very public paternity case that's being covered by every major media outlet. Yeah, there's a little context being missing there too, right? Like, they're covering her, her statements. Clayton posted to his story to his 270,000 followers to look me up, which they have. Been sending me threatening and harassing messages by his followers. I explained this to him and asked him to take this down, which he did not, by posting personal and sensitive information about me publicly without my consent. Made me feel humiliated and embarrassed. 9/21. Scottsville PD officer Vince Johnson called Clayton to explain what he was doing was harassment in and of itself, coupled with the fact that he was inciting his followers to harass me as well. You know what's fascinating about that? You remember that document for the other protective order? So you have all this stuff I would call harassment pointed at other people, and yet police involvement. Isn't that strange? Isn't it weird how this stuff comes together? It always, I don't know. I always find that crazy. Donna Shepard, thanks for 11 months. Sorry I'm late. Dealing with health issues, recovering from a small heart attack. I hope you are doing much better, by the way. But I'm here now. Glad to be here. Thank you, Tug, for all you do. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Appreciate you. Take care of yourself, for sure. Always. Tracy, thanks for the 10 there. Here's Candy Money. Maybe I can summon Baby Umbrella Girl. she is actually at church. I'm at the Church of Documentation. She is at the Church of Church. She is with her grandma and friends. She's having she's hanging out with friends, and they're doing their thing for Wednesday. They get a little break from me. This is probably good for them in the day. They get a time to, that's not karate or activities. They just play and goof off. In the context of church, of course. Between 9/22, 10/5, Clayton is posed as several users on Reddit. He's all these users, by the way, right? Including Silly Goose Tits, Gossip Goose Tits, Sand Between Her Toes, and others. He's all these people. What evidence? Well, he posted private and confidential information, including facts about my medical history that is only known to him, that is known only to him because of our paternity case. You notice that's been highly contested, by the way. The idea that there's medical evidence and only known to him. All of that is contested. Plus, these people. That's why it's 100% traceable back. So, He's also been writing defamatory and very hurtful things about me, including comments about how I've gained weight, I'm pregnant, how I'm not attractive, how my photos are so poorly edited that it's laughable, how I'm bad at my job, a self-help podcaster, how my prior abusive relationship with inspired TEDx talk never happened, despite mountains of evidence. He is doing everything in his power to ruin and hurt my reputation. As a result of what he has posted, I've gotten harassing messages that have told me to harm myself. As a result of becoming pregnant with his twins, I am getting other threatening messages as well. And all of this attention. Never, it doesn't matter if you communicate with these folks because they're going to post whatever they want, but never communicate directly. I'm going to say that. I want to note that with the lawyer, like communicating with them, there's nothing positive gained in that. So don't, read it, laugh at it. You can screenshot and repost. Don't give them the traction. You can take the document yourself and you can laugh with stuff, but just, again, direct communication. It's always weaponized. It's always nasty. I'm not saying that happened with this. I'm just saying as a good rule. Shannon O'Brien, Chronicles, thanks for the 5 there, by the way. Sure, he's a First Amendment lawyer. First Amendment. He's an amended lawyer. Mostly free speech. Big difference between mostly free and all free. Hashtag mostly free speech, tramp stamp lawyer. Indeed. He's a First Amended lawyer. I like that. At first, I got to amend it. But first, I got to amend it. I like it. As a result of this public shaming, he's caused me extreme psychological harm, disrupted my peace. I've asked Clayton to stop the harassment on Reddit and social media so many times, but he won't. I've reported his accounts and posts to Reddit, but he continues to write unacceptable, cruel things about me. He has multiple accounts now, and even if one is blocked, he will create another one. As a result of him spreading false and damaging information under pseudonyms, I feel demeaned, humiliated, and like my deep sense of privacy has been invaded. In addition, he has been in communication with my ex, who I have order of protection against, and who he knows is dangerous. I've asked him to stop talking to him because it will put me in danger, but he continues to communicate with him. 10-6. When combined, all of this has led me to feel extreme anxiety and fear for my safety. I've not left my house since September 28th because of it. So you see how, what's checked off there, and that's the end of this file. Now, there is a response to this file. That is a live stream all to itself. It is fascinating reading, but that is another day. We are going to call this one. That I thought we did good. I stayed on task mostly. I thought I did very good in the day because typically I have problems staying on task, but I did. Yay, that umbrella guy. It was semi-professional today. Oh, Lord. It is hard for me to stay on task. What I was saying, though, check this out real fast. I just want to show you something crazy here, too. So, give me 1 minute. Look, when I was talking about super chats, too, not sharing, look, it's frozen at 8. See? So it froze early on today. So just a note, it did indeed freeze up. You see all the tabs too. There's all motions and filings and stuff. But gold star and a smiley face. Oh my God. Thank you, folks. I love those. A smiley face and a gold star. All right. So we are going to leave on a song. So I'm going to warn you with that because the volume may go up. So you're warned, but I'm going to leave on that. And yeah, tomorrow Megan will be on. We'll talk about whatever. And we'll continue documentation from there. It should be a very interesting one. Everything, we'll add in what's new. With documentation, we'll talk about some of the new stuff, but, again, I don't know how it comes up. Stuff is moving quickly, so we'll see. But anyway, appreciate you. Song time.
This ain't a battle, baby, it's a walk by. Showering verbal rounds on those tiny clowns and laughing as they cry. I'm no longer taking what they're giving, cause they'll leave press on life, baby, that just ain't worth living. We aren't gaining, we're at war, with points aboard are worth fighting for. Gaining inches in this battle of attrition, as case by case we pass the ammunition. Poke that umbrella guy back with this communion. Mic check, mic wreck, it's audible reunion. Syllable call-outs wrapped up in this song. Nuclear fallout after dropping this mic bomb. We're not snatching chains, baby, now we're snatching souls. They crossed this verbal bridge, now they're paying my tolls. The media's flatline, there's no more resolutions. No forgive and forget, this Pope ain't granting absolution. It's that umbrella guy pointing at the wrecks, laughing in their face as they keep demanding we respect. Our so-called social betters erasing all your gains. Listen and believe, wants to keep us in chains. It's that umbrella guy, declaring war on all the haters, dropping meteors on those dinosaurs, and bombing all the craters. A life in chains isn't worth living, and Pope, that umbrella guy, ain't about forgetting about you who wanted to race the deception and the lies. The wolves in disguise, now you're back to the drive-thru. But you already knew that like your mic skills, your time was limited. Now you're bankrupt, screeching is prohibited. So can I get that combo meal with a side of verbal fry? Because tonight, baby, we're blasting the mic with the ice now walk by. Supersizing the rage from this platinum grill, feasting on our anger, nah, this ain't a happy meal. Yeah, tonight's forecast isn't rain clouds, it's the rain. The Pope umbrella guy, the first mic wrecking away the remnants of the worst. What's happening? This ain't a mystery.